This podcast is brought to you by Legend Comics and Coffee in Omaha, Nebraska, located in scenic downtown Benson. They got a new location. It's absolutely gorgeous. Check it out. And by listeners like you. Go to Patreon/Two-Headed Nerd. Become a patron. Support this show.
Once, they were two best friends managing a comic book store. But when an innocent blood oath went wrong, the two found themselves trapped in the same body, imprisoned in a strange pyramid made of long boxes, buried deep below their hometown, where they are doomed to discuss comic books until the end of time. They were once Joe and Matt. Now they are known as the Two-Headed Nerd. And this is their podcast.
Broadcasting from the Ziggurat in Omaha and caverns deep below the metro area, it is our pleasure to welcome you to episode 799 of the Two-Headed Nerd comic book podcast. I'm your head number one. My name is Matt Baum. We just had a brief discussion about doing some Marvel math and jumping straight to 1,000, but that's not how we work here. And what we do, Joe, is we make fun of Marvel math. We do not embrace it, sir.
I mean, I like where your head is at, but the fact is we have embraced Marvel math in the past. However, the fact remains, I am the Internet's Joe Patrick, your head number two. And regardless of the episode number, it's still time for another new comic show where we will review 8 comics from the past 2 new comic book days. And we'll talk about some other stuff we read as well. After that, we'll set you up with our must-read new comic picks for next week.
In this exciting episode, we ring in a new era of turtle power with Gene Luen Yang and FreddieEWilliamsII. Mike Mignola takes us back to the beginning of mankind to meet a familiar Hellboy big bad. Then we'll put flowers on the grave of Marvel's 2099 universe. It's so sad, right? But not before rocketing into space with the new Black Panther series. And, of course, we have more 90s comic exploitation as Marc Silvestri sort of reinvents the darkness for 2025.
In the same way that they sort of reinvented Witchblade.
Yeah, all this, and Kyle Starks is back at Image with a new series that's going to force Joe to listen to more of my wrestling fandom jibba jabba. Oil up and put on your knee pads, jobbers, because it's review time in the Ziggurat.
The following matches will be for one fall.
One fall!
But before we start suplexing comics, we'd better explain our rating system. Each comic we review is rated using our 3-point scale. Buy it, skim it, or leave it. Just like wrestling, these rules can be bent, and they represent our opinions. But we'd love to hear yours too. Just don't expect us to agree if you come running down the entrance ramp and ruin our match. Macho Matt's already blading himself before the match even starts, so we're gonna need some towels. Along with our new comics.
You ain't bleeding, you ain't wrestling, Joe.
For the sake of the collection's condition, please do not bleed on the comic books. Here are your review comics for the week of Wednesday, December 10th.
We begin this week with Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man, number 1 of 4. It's from Dark Horse Comics. It's written by Mike Mignola with art by Jesse Lonergan. Main cover by Lonergan. Colors by Lonergan. He's all over the place. Letters by Clem Robbins. It's 28 pages. It's $4.99. Here's your solicit. The gladiator Anumyasa wanders the forest to learn about her lives, past, present, and future. But she isn't a hero at all, as one darker entity will hunt her until she can be stopped, and the fate of man stopped with her. Hellboy creator Mike Mignola and artist Jesse Lonergan continue their acclaimed Miss Truesdale saga in this new mini-series. You don't need to pick up Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Hyperborea. If you want to just pick this up, you can. I will tell you, it's going to help a lot. Perhaps immensely, if you did read the first series. All you really need to know is Mignola, as you may or may not know, destroyed the world in the pages of BPRD, but has been revisiting the past Hellboy universe through a lot of these stories. And he's using Miss Truesdale, who is this quiet Victorian woman who found out she's had many past lives, one of which was this amazing warrior woman, Anamyasa, who was one of the first of mankind, basically. And we get to travel back in time and see what life was like at the dawn of man.
So I was confused by this a lot because for some of it, I was like, is this taking place after the apocalypse?
No.
Where life is reasserting itself?
This is the secretary woman who is Amelia Dunn.
The author talking to the ghost,
talking to William, who is a ghost, which is has happened in other books too. She's also been an Archeron. She's sort of like the unofficial secret history writer of the world, and they're investigating Miss Truesdale's disappearance because she knows Miss Truesdale has had many lives, and one of them being Anamyasa. So that is what they're doing.
All right.
So Anamyasa and Miss Truesdale are the same. They are existing.
I get it, but Anamyasa is also talking about, like, they're talking.
They exist through time.
You know what? It's not important.
No.
Anamyasa sees all of her lives laid bare before her.
So does Miss Truesdale.
So that's why it's very confusing.
Right. They see through time.
If you haven't read the first one.
Now,
but I'll get my chance to say my piece.
Right. And honestly, I think Lonergan's art is perfect for this kind of story because it is this very psychedelic, bizarre, time-spanning, psychic adventure where we are seeing how maybe to some entities that Hellboy's been beating up for a long time with the help of the BPRD, man was kind of the bad guy. You know, we came in and we screwed things up for the kind forest people and the frogs and the you know, the monsters that were just sort of doing their thing. So it was kind of easy for some like evil sort of spirits like the 7-headed dragon, right? Ogdu Jahad and all that shit to, you know, taint some of these innocent forest people and turn these forces against man. It's a wild story, but it's beautifully illustrated. I love Lonergan's art. It's very thin line, very loose. His colors are very psychedelic. There's some very acid trippy aspects to the way the panels all bleed into each other and acknowledge that two characters are having similar memories. The book is wild. And I do recommend you read the first one so you have some precedent to know what's going on. But if you're a fan like I am, then you'll be very happy to have Miss Truesdale back. These stories are kick-ass. I love that Mignola keeps finding wildly talented weirdo artists who no doubt develop their own style looking at Mignola's wildly talented weirdo art. And he keeps going back and telling us stories from the Hellboy world. So it's not really gone. We're just revisiting the past. I'm giving this a buy it. There is definitely this is not an entry point. I'll say that. It's not a good entry point.
There's a steep barrier of entry.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a skim it for me, but not in like any negative way whatsoever. Because I did not read the original Miss Truesdale.
Sure.
And I was very confused, as evidenced by the beginning of Matt's review, where
totally
I was like, what
get
the fuck's
that.
going on?
Yeah, totally get that.
It's a skim it because if you look at this and you like the sort of thing that you see going on in here, then my recommendation would be to go pick up the first one.
Sure.
But I did really enjoy it. I think the art is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The watercolor color palette is beautiful. It's very, very muted a lot of the time, but it does have some vibrancy to it.
He does a thing where
here
he mutes part of the story to show like this character in the future is remembering this thing in the past that is very bright in color. And then it's very cool the way he does it. The visual storytelling is great.
It's a gorgeous comic book. Yeah. And the Hellboy universe has never been gone.
No.
It's just that the story that he was telling in BPRD and with Hellboy fighting monsters on the planet Earth kind of ran its course.
It's done. Yeah.
And so now he's telling the stories he wants to tell, and he can fill in bits of continuity where he wants to fill in bits of continuity. Sure. And I loved that for him. Another book with a winding chronology that you need a flowchart to keep track of is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is issue 13 of the current volume from IDW. But if you really think about it, it's issue 113 because this carries on from the previous ongoing series. It also carries on from the previous creative team of Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira. This is written by your new writer, Gene Luen Yang, with art by your new artist, FreddieEWilliamsII. Colors by Andrew Dalhouse. Letters by Sean Lee. I'm pretty sure those guys were on the book already. Cover is by Williams and Dalhouse. It's 32 pages for $4.99. I'm not going to bother reading the solicit. It's, you know what you get with a TMNT book. There's martial arts action. There's mutants everywhere, which I kind of like. That's something that I didn't really have a frame of reference for, having not read the original IDW ongoing. But the world of TMNT that has been building for the last decade and change is full of mutated characters just running around all over the place.
Well, yeah, anthropomorphic mutants like the Turtles.
Yeah, right, exactly. And this picks up right from the end of Aaron's run, but it also still feels like a fresh start. The tone is definitely lighter, but the story is still plenty dark. Like, there's a lot of violence and people are getting killed left and right. Donatello has a run-in with a commuting father who is stuck in what, I guess, for lack of a better term, ninja traffic, because New York City is the kind of city where you might accidentally get stuck on the bridge because there's a ninja gang fight. I thought that this was plenty accessible for new readers, but it is also rewarding if you read the previous arc. There's a great twist at the end. There's also another less drastic but still important twist before the end. I'm trying not to spoil anything here. The art is fantastic. Freddie Williams II wrote the book on creating digital art for comics.
He's great.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, I own the book. I bought it. And that was over a decade ago. That was 15 plus years ago. He's definitely a master of the digital technique, using those tools to create different textures and shading. He's also a great pick for this book because he's done a ton of TMNT like crossover books. He did all the ones with Batman. I think he did all the He-Man ones as well.
Yeah.
So TMNT 13, it kicks off a new arc. It definitely seems like they're up to the challenge of following Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira. I'm sticking around for this one. I am giving it a buy it. I liked it a lot.
I really like Freddie Williams' art because he's not only the guy that wrote the book on digital art, you would never know it. Looking at it, you'd never know. He's that good. Like, if you're just a fan, you'd look at this and be like, this guy's just a kick-ass artist. And that's not to say that like digital art is cheating or anything like that, but he's not he's not using all the tricks that you can usually see so blatantly in digital art, you know?
Consider digital art now is so advanced compared to what it was when he started.
Sure.
That you wouldn't notice.
No, but I mean, there's still comics we just talked about, like that came out from Marvel.
There are artists that do it poorly.
2 weeks ago, we were like, this is a lot of digital shit going on.
Right. There are artists that don't do it very
I think the book looks really good. I think this is definitely a tone shift, a hard tone shift. And I know that the last series ended on a high note, but this kind of felt like right back to the pizza eating ninja dudes. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, let's do it. It's fine. I think it's good. You know, I guess I wasn't ready to just go right back to that. And let's keep in mind, 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics came out this week and they all have this same tone. So I would argue Aaron and Ferreira were doing a thing that was different from those other books. This feels a lot more similar so far. It's only the first issue. I don't know. And like you said, good twist. I'm going to give it a buy it, but I don't I kind of liked that there was a different tone, and I don't need it to just go back to eating pizza and party bros. I even say cowabunga in this one, you know.
I guess my counterpoint to that is that they're still dealing with stuff like the death of Splinter, which happened long before this series started, and things like that. You know, they're like Donatello doesn't have a shell because he was injured and tortured and he lost.
I'm not saying there's not continuity. I'm just saying the tone is completely different.
Right. No, I get it. But I think that there's this underlying, like, these guys have been through some shit, you know?
I mean, sure.
But I mean, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
Legendary artist Marc Silvestri was one of the Image founders, and while his first creation, Cyberforce, maybe didn't, stand the test of time, the Darkness just won't die. If you don't know the Darkness, imagine the Power Rangers if they were covered with razor blades and had guns for some reason, because I never really understood why Jackie Estacado, who is your 21-year-old hitman that turns into the Darkness, something we can all relate to, has guns as well.
Because he's a mafia guy.
I guess. And he runs around with little ghouls and monsters that appear. In fact, you know what? I can't even tell you how many Darkness comics I've read. I'm not going to say I've read all of them. I've read a good amount of them. I have no clue.
Really? I haven't.
No clue what this character's powers are. I could not tell you.
He summons like shadow demons and weapons and blades and stuff.
Okay. What would you call that?
Out of the inky blackness.
Yeah, so like the Witchblade kind of does the same thing. She makes herself pointy.
Sure, but she does it out of metal. She does it out of bikinis, Matt. He does it out of shadows.
The Return of the Darkness from Image Top Cow, written by Marc Silvestri with art by Ed Benes, inks by Sal Regala, Matt Banning, and John Livesey. This was too much for one inker, unfortunately. Main cover by Marc Silvestri, and it looks great. Colors by Arif Prianto, and letters by Troy Pateri. It's 48 pages. It is $4.99. I'm just going to read a little bit of the solicit because it's crazy long and you really don't even need this much of it, to be perfectly honest. In a world consumed by shadows. It starts with in a world, if that tells you anything.
In a world.
One man becomes the Darkness. Jackie Estacado is back, thrust into a supernatural war between the dark and the light in a no-holds-barred adventure where the edge of our reality grinds against supernatural forces, grappling for control over each other and the waking world. It's like, that's a huge setup. Wow, man, that sounds intense, like good and evil
world.
And like, oh man, this is going to be super deep and wild, but it's not. It's just more of the Darkness. Wasn't real original in the 90s, and it's still not real original now. The book opens with a really awkward sex scene that I guess is the origin of Jackie Estacado. It's not clear.
So this is something that I remember vividly from promotional stuff in Wizard Magazine and the like, talking about the Darkness before it debuted.
Right.
The Darkness is essentially passed on genetically, and the second the Darkness sires an offspring, i.e. knocks up a lady.
Right, you die.
Then he dies.
Yeah.
And so part of the deal was like, and Jackie can never safely have sex again.
And here's the tough part of that. Jackie is a misogynist shithead sex addict.
Yeah.
Which makes him also very relatable. I mean, like, I can't say enough about how unrelatable this character is. There's just... His origin is ridiculous. He, came out of an orphanage, some weird Catholic orphanage where like the kids were shitheads and the priests were even bigger shitheads. And then one day, for reasons, he just gets adopted by a mobster who shows up one day and is like, yeah, my wife wants something cute, cuddly. Yeah, go give me a kid.
A mobster comes to the orphanage and buys a kid.
Yeah. For reasons. And so Jackie is raised by mobsters, becomes a killer. These mobsters are as stereotypical as they come.
I mean, look, Marc Silvestri is clearly Italian, so who are we to judge?
And so I'm not saying like there's anything racial going on here. I'm just saying like, really, this is what we're drawing on.
It paints with a broad brush. much.
We update the mafioso story a little bit to bring in the Russians, who are also mobsters and stereotypically evil. And then the angels show up and they want to stop Jackie because before he turns into the darkness, and there's cultists involved that seem
There's
to
a
think
prophecy, blah,
they
blah,
can
blah.
shoot angels, and they know these angels. They're like, oh shit, the Angelus is coming. Go, draw your weapons and shoot. And it's sort of like the guys in the old Superman show that would like unload a gun on Superman and then throw it at him when that doesn't work. It's like they know these things are crazy powerful and they can't stop them, but they still show up with machine guns and open fire. And you know what? It looks great. This book looks very, very slick. It's packed full of almost nudity and almost violence because it's almost adult, but they make sure that nobody is cussing. Like, I don't get it.
Except it's PG-13 cussing because there are shits aplenty.
They will say certain things.
But then they use Grawlix for the F-bomb.
Yeah, it's just like, this is one of those books where like I don't know who it's for. And I understand the history of the game, but it's for teenage boys in the 90s. Those teenage boys have now grown up, and I can't see teenage boys now going like, yeah, this kicks ass. You know, like the art is very flashy. Ed Bennis does a very good job. 3 inkers definitely start to show after a while, but I didn't need the darkness back. Somebody maybe does. I'm giving this a skim it. They really talk it up as to how we've updated it, and it was time to bring the darkness back and do it again. But like we've done this like 4 times, and Witchblade even more.
Because I have a thought about that.
Yeah, I think we've done it with the Witchblade even more, and every time it's just the same shit. I like it's the same goddamn thing. If you like it, congratulations. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I don't care. This is a skim it, and why are we still doing this?
So. It's a skim it for me as well. I think maybe I had a little bit more fun with it than you, but that's because I went into it knowing how you felt about it already, and I was like, all right, let's go. And yeah, it's goofy. The stereotypes are like very broad.
Yeah.
It's not very like socially conscious when it comes to like misogyny and shit like that.
I mean, that's almost brave. I will say that's almost brave to make the character this big of a shithead. Because like I said, you absolutely cannot relate. His circumstances are already so bizarre that you can't relate to him. And he's a shithead.
So the whole deal is that he doesn't inherit the darkness until he turns 21, which means he can fuck as many broads as he wants.
Yeah, man.
And so the minute we meet Jackie, he's in bed with a woman who he has to leave because he gets called to go kill somebody for his uncle, his adopted father.
And let's keep in mind, he's a 20-year-old kid at this point.
He's
the
20.
Mafia is like,
he's 20,
I trust this 20-year-old
about to turn
kid.
21.
Go get him, 20-year-old kid.
She says, "What do you think I am? Some kind of whore?" And then he turns right around and lets his uncle gift him with 2 prostitutes.
Oh, don't forget the coming
his
joke.
birthday.
Don't forget the coming joke in the book too. Where
like,
there's a lot of don't worry, I'm ... and then they cut to Jackie having sex, and he's like, coming. Like,
if you want to see a guy's face and then have him disintegrate into a skeleton, that's in here for you. Look, I think the book is. Quite frankly, I thought the book was gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Art's great.
I think Ed Bennis is a really great artist. He just draws super cheesecakey shit. And sometimes there's a place for that. It's definitely what this book is asking of him.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really notice the problem with the 3 inkers like you did, but I also read it really quickly today. The story is nonsense. Regarding the update, how they talk about like, yeah, we updated it for the modern day. Yeah, the darkness is back, baby. I looked in the back matter, and there's this sketchbook of Marc Silvestri.
I'm looking at it
redesigning the iconic darkness costume. First of all, I defy anyone to draw the 90s darkness costume from memory. You can't do it. This page in the sketchbook was like, Mark tried 4 different versions of Jackie's mask before he settled on option number B, and I'm looking at it, and in my head is that meme from The Office where it's Pam going, they're the same picture.
Yeah, yes.
All 4 of those examples look exactly fucking
And I
the
think
same.
that's my problem. Maybe it's because I read a little bit about this before, and they just sang about how it was time, and they put all this effort into updating
you guys, it's just the darkness.
It's the same shit.
It's barely different. It's I mean, I guess it's a reboot in the sense that they're ignoring the old continuity, but there is nothing really different as far as I know about like his backstory or any of that shit or his powers or any of that. It's a skim it. Look, I thought it looked good. I thought it was goofy. If you loved, like Matt said, if you love the darkness, you're going to freak out.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
This is not going to make any new fans.
But I think this is also like Spawn territory for us, where like we just don't get it.
Yeah, right.
We don't get it. There's people that love it, and that is fine, and I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I'll be the first to admit, I don't get it.
But, you know, I will at least give McFarlane credit because he tries to do different things, like The Scorched is a teen book. Gunslinger Spawn is a cowboy.
Sure.
I mean, yes, I roll my eyes.
Let's not go into that.
Gunslinger Spawn. But I'm just saying, at least, but with the Silvestri books, the Top Cow books, it's
the same thing.
They're just the same. They're the same.
And over again. Yeah.
I don't.
And if that's what the fans want, give them what they want. Fine.
You know, we've had a lot of fun in the past here on this very episode about concepts that get regurgitated and brought back in the same way time and time again. But if there's one thing you can say about Marvel's 2099 universe,
man,
it is absolutely not the same as you remember it.
Holy shit. Just reading this first like blurb in the beginning, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. So I'm going to read this solicit because...
Well, first read the creative team.
First, I'm going to... Yeah. So my choice, my next book is The End 2099, #1 from Marvel. It's written by Steve Orlando with art by Ibram Roberson, colors by Andrew Dalhouse. That's 2 Dalhouse books in a row for me. Letters by VC's Joe Caramagna, cover by David Marquez and J. David Ramos. It's 32 pages for $4.99. I'm going to read the solicit because it is buck wild, y'all. And then it takes a turn into absolute hilarity. One future ends, another begins. $30.99.
No.
From the ashes of the Age of Heroes, a new generation of vigilantes like Spider-Man 2099, Nova 2099, and Red Hulk 2099 emerged in the dystopia that followed to forge a bright new future. A future that has come to an end in the face of Abyssus, a horrifying fusion of null infected Galactus.
Good God.
It's just as weird as you're picturing. As the Devourer in Black descends upon the world, a deal is struck with the devil, literally, as Mephisto, him again. That's the fate of 2099 in a brutal battle of survival, pitting the warriors of 2099 against fan favorite characters from across the multiverse, like Age of Apocalypse era Wolverine. Okay, check.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Why?
Yes, fan favorite. Yes. Claremont Byrne era Cyclops and Marvel Girl. I mean, okay.
Why?
All right. You're on thin ice here, Steve. But okay, what else you got? House of M era Wanda. What? Fucking crickets.
What are we doing? But first off, why? What do we have to do with 2099? Second.
And then, you know what? And that's, I'm going to stop reading there. Blah, 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 blah. Spider-Man 2099. He's on the cover. It's not even a spoiler. So, just a heads up in case you couldn't tell. If you thought this first issue was going to be a good entry point to Marvel's current 2099 stuff, think again.
Yeah. Wow. I had no idea this is what was happening.
Neither did I. This is basically the latest issue in a long collection of work Steve Orlando has done to kind of rebuild Marvel's 2099 future. A fan favorite concept, I will admit. Sure. But this thing needs fucking legacy numbers in the worst way.
I don't know that it does, because I don't know that it would matter. At this point, it's so far gone that
it should be like 2099 number 100, because it makes no fucking sense without any context. Orlando does not hold your hand. You got to get in the boat and row. There are some fun ideas here if you can just roll with them. Like, I thought Cosmic Dracula was fun. Hey, here's a spoiler. Cosmic Dracula is the Herald of Abyssus. That happened in the last fucking book. He is in this comic book for 4 panels.
Yeah, Abyssus is literally Galactus taken over by Null. It's like Null wearing the armor, slightly different, color palette.
It's like a symbiote big enough to cover Galactus.
Does the same thing.
It's the god of symbiote.
But instead of coming in like, plugging the machine in and sucking, now he just opens his mouth and like sucks up your soul or something.
Right.
I don't know.
And so now he devours the physical and the spiritual. I'm not the biggest Null symbiote guy, but at least that is an interesting twist for a future idea. I did like the idea of in the 2099 future, like there are entire planets that serve as server farms that basically run the internet or whatever they call it in the future.
I would hope we were past that by now.
Well, I mean, look, so when, Abyssus shows up and eats that planet, shit gets real bad for anyone that's on the network.
Yeah, we talk about it for 3 pages.
We do. The story falls down even farther when Galactus and Mephisto choose their champions.
Yeah.
So Mephisto, who is, region locked, to use a video game term. So he summons all of the characters from 2099. Why he can't summon anybody from elsewhere in that future, I don't know.
No. Other way around. Null.
No.
Oh, no, you're right. Mephisto can only summon the 2099 characters.
Null can summon from 2099 and that one universe.
Right.
But the universe is vast. You don't think there's a Thanos out there somewhere or something? I don't know. Abyssus, because of symbiote shit, he can summon anyone in the entire multiverse, and he picks U.S. fucking Agent.
And it looked like an old version of U.S. Agent, too.
And Miles Morales, who, don't get me wrong, I love, but what the hell? Why?
Yeah. It just, what are we doing here?
It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
And then, House of M era Wanda, whoopee.
Yeah.
On the bright side, Ibram Robertson looks really good here. The art is fantastic.
The book looks great. The book is beautiful.
There's a lot of fun designs on the future characters. Nova 2099 is Wolverine, because why not? I don't know why, but he's Logan. I'm not sure. I didn't read it. But the colors are great. The pencil art is great. So the end 2099. It is probably one of the worst jumping on points I've read in a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
And having it called number 1 is not going to do anybody any favors, and it's probably going to make some people mad. There are some interesting ideas. There are some baffling ideas. Again, the art's really fantastic. I'm going to give it a leave it.
Joe,
I was going to give it a skim it, but I can't.
Joe, it's a leave it. I don't remember the last time I read a comic book that is so far up its own ass.
Yeah, like I read it and I was like, there is literally nothing to latch onto here.
That's just it. It's like everything is so referential to tiny little things that you have to know about. Otherwise, it is meaningless. Every character has some bizarre connection to something that was either in this 2099 book, so you don't know it at all, or is a very thin reference to something that happened in a comic book that Steve Orlando likes. Right?
Punisher 2099 is a brainwashed cyborg now. What? I don't know.
And
there's a new Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
You learn his name is in the... I had to look his name up online, but I don't know who he is.
And like every panel is full of all this like future speak and sun priestesses and cyber nostras. And it's just like by the end of it, I was dizzy and I wanted to put it down and go, somebody needs to check on Steve Orlando and make sure he's okay.
And like Steve Orlando also has these pet ideas that he loves. Like the dude loves writing stories with Mephisto and he loves writing Scarlet Witch.
And that's great.
And so surprise, surprise, here they are.
It's great. But like,
and it's just, I don't get it, man.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't want to sound like old guy, like, why can't they just do my 29?
No, that's not what I mean at all.
But there's nothing about this.
There's not a recap page. There's not even a page.
But I don't even mean that. I mean,
the world's thus far.
The feeling of 2099. The only thing that made me go, oh, okay, was when Spider-Man 2099 showed up. And that was it. And that was only for like 2-3 panels.
Yeah.
The rest of this, I wouldn't even know. If you take 2099 off of the cover, I would have no idea that this was a continuation of Marvel's 2099. There's no hint whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's a leave it. This is a failure. It's a beautiful failure, and it
looks good,
and it's full of exploding brain ideas, but it's too much. It becomes like you put too many flavors in the blender, and it just tastes like insanity. You know, right?
It ends up not tasting like anything.
Right.
For those keeping score, we are 35 minutes into the show, and only now will the wrestling theme make sense. Here are your review comics for the week of Wednesday, the 17th of December.
Thank you, Macho. It did take a while, but we finally get to our wrestling theme with Wrestleheist #1 from Image Comics.
Wrestleheist, turns out, is one word, but it's unclear from the cover.
Right.
But I looked online.
Spell
it is
check,
supposed to just be Wrestleheist, one word.
Spell check sure hates that shit. But it's also a play on all the wrestling stuff. Like whenever you like,
of course,
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, right.
Fightsgiving, which is in this and stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
It's from Image Comics. It's written and drawn by Kyle Starks. Main cover by Starks. There is a variant by Jesse Lonergan. It's a great variant. Colors by Vlad Popov and design by Dylan Todd. 32 pages, $3.99. It's a brief solicit.
I will say this, real shout out to Dylan Todd, because I doubt we'll get back around to it. The layout and design of this book,
it's great,
is incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks like an old fan magazine.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It looks like an old wrestling fan mag that you can tell Kyle Starks grew up reading. Here's your solicit. A former pro wrestler who has a brush with death, thanks to a crooked promoter, assembles a crew of old fellow wrestlers he's screwed over to rob him blind during the biggest wrestling event of the year. This is just packed full of Kyle Starks' wrestling fandom. The guy is a huge wrestling nerd and has paid so much attention. And Kyle Starks is so good at taking a big idea and boiling it down into a very good personal story. Take note, Steve Orlando. And basically here we get the story of a heel wrestler, and heels were famously the hardest workers in wrestling because they're going to come out and be the bad guy, and their job is to make the good guy look good. And there's a million stories of heels that were total sweethearts, and I'll just say it, Hulk Hogan's, who were total fucking assholes their entire career and screwed everyone over. And so we're getting a very real, true feeling story with some heart here. There's like the guy gets his neck broken in the ring. Something terrible happens to this character, Sterling Steel, which is a wonderful wrestling name, while he's fighting the alpha male Guy Grudges. Like,
yeah.
So good. All the names are so good in this. So like, it's not just a comedy. It is drawn very cartoony because Starks has a very cartoony style, like almost like a Rick and Morty kind of style to what he does. But it works really well for this story because it is going to be lighthearted, right? There is the comic setting that is wrestling as the background. And it's very well understood. The wrestlers are coming out of a giant turkey on the annual Thanksgiving show, Fightsgiving, and, marching down. There's money spraying out for Sterling. He's like the rich guy. Everyone's like, boo, you suck, But all the wrestling fans know this guy's like the best wrestler in the world. He's so great. So they love him and they love to hate him. The other guy doesn't do that much, isn't very good at it, and Sterling has to make him look good.
But he's a star, right?
But he's got star. And the promoter wants to keep his star and knows if I lose Sterling, the bad guy, my star is going to suck. I can't get rid of him, I don't know what to do. And I can't lose him to someone else who fucks him over, right? And now we don't even get into the caper yet. This is all just build up in this issue where you really feel for Sterling, and this other character that he bumps into is sort of like
Junkyard Dog is where my brain went.
He's more
like an elder statesman.
He's an Undertaker type character. Is what they call him, the Grave Digger.
Oh well, right? Sure, yeah.
And we meet these two guys that are gonna get their shit back. He's an older guy signing stuff at the convention when Sterling comes to talk to him about robbing this guy. The setup is great. The comic is wonderful. The back matter is so much fun. It's like fan mag talking about how cool Sterling is and how sad his story was and stuff like that. And then they immediately go into Kyle Starks being like, I'm so excited to be writing about wrestling. I went and grabbed a bunch of my comic book friends and asked them, who's your top 5 favorite wrestlers? And it's like Jason Aaron, naming off his Stone Cold's number 1 for me.
No, it was Brian Azzarello.
Oh, Brian Azzarello. Yeah, several people. This book is fantastic. I'm giving it a massive buy it. And it's not just because I'm a huge Kyle Starks fan or I'm a huge wrestling mark. This is just really well told and really good comic book. And the design, like Joe said, so well done. Nice job, guys.
Yeah. I mean, this was my favorite thing I read this week.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's not even close because Kyle Starks obviously loves this kind of genre of storytelling, telling stories through wrestling so much that it's this almost meta fictional storytelling about the world of wrestling storytellers,
Sure,
and it's really, really inventive and fun. And if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you're going to look at this and be like, oh my God, this is exactly the stuff that I loved when I was 10.
Absolutely.
And
you'll recognize the characters too. They're all right there on the page. There's no question.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And it's like, and I loved the little things like how Sterling whispered tips and advice to the alpha male during the match. He's like,
that's a thing. I mean, this is several people would come out and be like, yeah, Hulk Hogan, he would forget shit all the time. I constantly had to keep him on track.
Yeah.
And
then, when you get to the convention circuit part of it, I cannot tell you how many conventions I've been to as a comic retailer where I saw these wrestlers specifically, and also aging TV and movie stars.
Sure.
That couldn't do the job that they made a name doing anymore, signing autographs for lines of people. And so it all just resonated. And then you get to the back matter and it's all framed by fake ads for different products. Like, so-and-so's 1,000 best suplexes. It's just a VHS tape with nothing but suplex clips on it.
It's like Suplex Palooza or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like at the end of every one, it's like, this is not real. Do not send me money.
Send me your female wrestling pics. Not because I'm a pervert. I swear.
Right. Yeah, right. It's so good. It's so fun. This was like being a kid again and watching the WWF on Saturday afternoons. This was a joy. This is a buy it. For my next pick, I wanted to check in on a title that we have not read since the first issue. Superman Unlimited number 8 came out this week, written from DC, written by Dan Slott. Well, pardon me, plot by Dan Slott, dialogue by Dan Slott and Jeremy Adams, because there's a Green Lantern crossover.
Thank God Adams was here to punch it up a little bit.
Easy.
I don't get it.
Art by Lucas Mayer, colors by Marcelo Maiolo and João Canola. Sorry, João, I know I'm saying that wrong. Yao. Okay, sure.
João Canola.
Letters are by Dave Sharp. Cover is by Dave Johnson. It's 32 pages for $4.99. I'm going to read the quick solicit. It's pretty short. Thanks to Toyman's kryptonite generators, Earth is finally ready to mass produce commercial faster than light rockets for the planet's richest 1%. And who wouldn't want Earth's multi-billionaires traveling among the stars? Everyone. Every single being in the entire cosmos. Pretty good. So as I said, I haven't read Slott's Superman book for many months, but I did notice there was a different artist. So I wanted to check back in. As you all might remember, we, or some folks, did not love Raphael Albuquerque as a Superman artist. This is a decent done in one issue. It builds on Slott's ongoing kryptonite narrative where a kryptonite meteor exploded above the Earth and now the planet is lousy with it.
I forgot this shit was even happening.
Yeah, that's because for the most part, the only one dealing with it is Dan Slott.
Yeah, like you won't hear about it in any other Superman books, certainly.
Yeah. Other than that, though, the story feels pretty timeless. It practically reads like an episode of Superman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon, right down to the version of Toyman Slott uses. That's like the little kid robot.
Is that a thing? Did I miss that? Or?
That's from the Bruce Timmiverse, yeah.
But I mean, this isn't something that's happening in the regular DCU.
No, and I think that they introduced him in the comics a while ago.
Okay, because I was just like, well, okay, that's your Toyman.
The regular Toyman is out there somewhere too. I just don't know exactly what's going on with him. The story is still somehow relevant to today's dumb world because of all the billionaires and their private space flights and
Simon
stuff.
Stagg is Elon Musk. There's no question.
It's also very timeless in a way. The art is great. Lucas Mayer brings a much more traditional DC house style to the book. It's very well drawn. The action's dynamic. The storytelling is clear. I loved the varied panel shapes. They're not all squares or rectangles. Sometimes they're
he's really
weird
good.
Rhombuses and triangles and shit. The colors I thought were especially gorgeous. And Meyer draws a great Guy Gardner. It's very much the James Gunn version, which is very much the 80s version. So if you are a fan of Guy's more recent maturity, well, sorry. The bull cuts back, baby. Superman Unlimited number 8. It's a perfectly fine Superman comic. The art's great. And that's going to appeal to people that were turned off by the Albuquerque art. The story handles the well-known characters very well. Clark, Lois, Guy, they all sound pitch perfect. Bonus points for making fun of billionaires and idiot celebrities launching themselves into space. There's not really much that makes this stand out.
No, not at all.
But it's a good option if you just want a fun Superman adventure. So I'm giving it a strong skim it.
Like, I don't think anything has been more forgettable than Dan Slott coming to DC to write Superman. I totally forgot that happened this year. I have not paid any attention to this comic. And now that we're checking in on it, it kind of read like, hey, did you see Superman this summer? Yeah. Did you think Guy Gardner is funny? Yeah, I did too. Yeah. Oh, hey, remember when billionaires were going to space like 2 years ago? That was weird, right? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming. You know, like, what are we doing? What is this?
I mean, I'm not sure what
the art is.
That's your complaint.
The art's perfectly good. I just like none of this feels real timely to me. I mean, this is kind of old news, and I'm sorry. I guess I expected more from Dan Slott coming to do Superman than these cute one shots that are fine at best. The art is very good. The art is very good. But this comic is fine. And it kind of feels like, hey, if the Mark Waid and Josh Williamson output is too good for you, we've got something that's a little more watered down. Like, I give you Dan Slott's Superman Unlimited. Like, I don't need it. It's fine. It's a skim it. But yeah, I really don't need to read this.
I mean, I'm just glad he's not actively out here pissing people off like Bendis did when he came onto the book.
I mean, I suppose, but that's not a mark of way to go.
No, I'm not saying it's a way to go.
You did it. Hey, you didn't upset anybody.
I'm saying if you just want a good Superman story that you don't need to like read anything all in, you don't need to worry about stuff. That's what this book is. You can read it and enjoy it, give it to a kid, whatever. Sure. If you didn't like the Albuquerque art, great news. There's a new artist on the book and he's great.
I just think there's plenty of Superman going around DC right now. There's no shortage. And this
it's true, like but the main Superman books are both caught up in their own ongoing deals.
There's still 2 or 3 more, Joe.
This is sort of the evergreen one.
There's still 2 or 3 more out there. Spinning out of the pages of Imperial, which everybody read and everybody loved universally, and then they went on to demand more because Jonathan Hickman changed the Marvel Cosmic Universe. And if you didn't pay attention, like a lot of other people, you may not know what the hell is going on in the pages of Black Panther Intergalactic. #1. This is from Marvel Comics.
You're coming in pretty hot.
I'm coming in hot. It's written by Victor LaValle, art by Stefano Nessi, colors by Brian Valenza, letters by VC's Ariana Maher, cover by Cafu and David Curiel. It's a really cool cover. I like it. It's 32 pages for $4.99. Here's your solicit. The Intergalactic Emperor of Wakanda, T'Challa, the King of Wakanda, faces a challenge of uniting all of his kingdom on Earth and in the stars. Kinda, sorta. Before he can begin, though, someone or something steals him away to a mysterious planet where the Black Panther must fight for his life. Shuri, his sister, works to find him. But with the king and the princess distracted, will someone else seize the title of Emperor Wakanda? If you did not read Imperial, there is no recap. There's no page.
There are editor's notes, though.
There's some editor's notes. I'll give you that. But that's a see this. But if you didn't see it, you don't know what's going on. Right? Give us something. Give us some matter in the front that says, you know, the Black Panther ate the heart-shaped herb. Blah, blah, blah. Now later he found out there was a whole space race of Wakandans. Later on, the Hulk's kid got killed. And there was a big miniseries we made a big stink out of, but not that many people read it. Sorry. But anyway, in the wake of that, you know, the Black Panther is in space. And I would say LaValle understands T'Challa really well. He demonstrates it in the first few pages when the Black Panther's fighting this big snake thing, and he like shows mercy on it because, you know, it's just protecting its eggs or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. But after that, there's a lot of self-narrating for some reason. He is like walking around full on Peter Parker talking to himself. And I expect that from Pete. That's what Pete does. He's a chatterbox. T'Challa is not. He's a man of few words. And later on, there's a bunch of narration boxes in the book too. So you could have just done that and maybe it would have made more sense. I also understand that LaValle had no choice but to full on just narrate some things, like when he's walking and carrying this comrade of his that died in the pages of, I think, the Imperial War. I don't know, maybe. But he has to explain the entirety of why he's carrying this person and why he's burying him and what happened to the person to no one. He's just saying it out loud. Otherwise, you'd have no idea. And I don't blame this creative team for this. I really don't. I think it is a very ballsy editorial move to be like, we're starting a new Black Panther series, spinning out of this miniseries. That was not a hit for Marvel. They planned on it being a hit, just didn't end up that way. It seems like a real gamble for me. And I think LaValle and sorry, who's the artist? Missed it. LaValle and Nessie do a really good job on the book. It looks great. The art was a little weird for me at first, but then I figured out Nessie's style. And by the end, I really like it. I think he does some very cool stuff with action. I think it's very stylish. But the book itself, it's just kind of impossible to care unless you not only read, the Eve Ewing Black Panther, which was really good, but then you had to read Imperial and the Imperial War stuff and the Black Panther tie-ins to know why we're here, why this is going on, and why some of these characters. And
it would also help
like
if you read the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther, where they established the Intergalactic Empire.
Going way back. There's just too much that's all built up to lead into a new series to really care about. I'm giving it a skim it. But again, I don't blame these creators. I think they have an unenviable task that was thrust upon them by editorial.
I blame LaValle for some of it. I think that
the over narration was a lot. Yeah.
Well, when he was talking, to me, it read like he was talking to his dead friend that he was taking to be buried. He's like, to me, it felt like he was having a conversation.
So what about the beginning where he's just walking around the jungle talking the whole time?
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I think that this book does a lot of weird jumps in time and space because sometimes we're flashing back and sometimes we're not. And then there are like neck-breaking, whiplash-inducing smash cuts to completely different scenes that are in completely different time periods. And it's just like,
and clear across the universe too. That's the other thing.
And I am like, I'm pretty comics literate, right? I've been reading them for a very long time. And even I was like, wait a minute, what? Where are we now? And I'll admit, I have not read a ton of the modern Black Panther stuff. I'm aware tangentially of a lot of it, but it would have been nice to have had a recap of what the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda is.
Sure.
It would have been nice to have a recap of the events of Imperial. The editor's notes are nice, but they only get you a tiny little bit of the way there. Because the storytelling in parts is very unclear.
Yeah. And the jumping around, it's not just in time. It's also like location. Like there's a scene that says like Wakanda Prime, undisclosed location. Like, okay.
Well, Wakanda Prime is a planet.
But that's the thing. It's like, I went, okay. Right? Is that Earth? Like, or is this
right? That's the thing, right? Is
it's like, is this a different planet?
Wakanda Prime.
And there's a way to do that.
And then there's the planet Bast.
There's a way to do that. You know what you do? Like Star Wars, you show a planet in outer space, and then you show its name, and I go, "Oh, okay, that's not Earth."
Oh yeah, Wakanda Prime. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like done.
Right, but right, and it also doesn't help that there's a bit of misdirect here where you think T'Challa might be on Earth,
right,
and then he very much is revealed to not be.
Yeah,
and it's just like, well, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah,
and so. The storytelling is very unclear. Yes, there could have been a recap, but even with a recap, the writing, like the transitions from scene to scene in places just don't work. The art I thought was good. It is a little weird, but not weird. It's different,
Heavy style.
It's got its own unique style.
Heavy style.
I really enjoyed Nessie's take on the Black Panther. So it's a skim it for me because I needed more to ease me into it. And I don't want to make it seem like it's as bad as that $20.99 book because good.
No. Nowhere near that. It's just hard to locate anything and lock into
if you are not 100% up to date with the adventures of these very specific characters, you're going to be kind of confused.
I think that's a problem that is very prevalent in Marvel right now. It's like you can't hit any stride when we're constantly renumbering books and sometimes doing it just to do it, to sell another number one. It's like you never get into any rhythm. So it's not only impossible to know where to start or where this came from. There's so many number ones, you don't know which one you need to read. If it's number 50, well, then obviously I can go back to number 35 and start there and read 250 and catch up and know where I'm at. But like, which miniseries do I need to read? One of them's not even Black Panther. One of them's Imperial War bullshit. Like, okay.
Yeah. It's a skim it. Yeah. I just, even saying character X #1 parentheses 2025 isn't going to do you any good.
Doesn't tell you anything,
because a character will have 2 #1s in the same calendar year.
Right. It doesn't tell you shit.
It's just like, come on now.
Yeah. It's too much. They're making it just like impenetrable.
Yeah. I mean, and I sympathize because marketing periodicals is difficult.
Sure.
But
sure.
You know, they've only been doing it for 80 years. So
right. Figure it out, you guys. And you know what? You had a perfectly good way to do it. It was called numbering. And you didn't start over
right,
constantly,
exactly.
You know?
Well, Matt, I got great news. Our final book of the week is a true and proper #1 from a company that understands the concept of a first issue. It's the new Space Age #1 from Mad Cave Studios. This is written by Kenny Porter with art by Mike Becker, colors by Kevin Batu. Letters are by Buddy Bodone. Buddy Boduen.
Bodan.
Bodan. There you go. Sorry, buddy. Covers by Becker. It's 32 pages for $4.99. I'm going to read you the solicit. I'm going to coyly redact parts of it. Disgraced astronaut Mark Mitchell has only ever had one true mission: to find his little brother Joey, who was abducted by aliens from a crop circle when they were little. But when Mark's hotshot piloting gets him grounded and the last of the public space program defunded, Mark loses his only means of finding Joey out in space. Until Mark's homemade scanning rig discovers the shocking truth about the crop circles. They are instructions for space travel. Mark will need to uncover the hidden messages that have been left on Earth for years to reverse engineer a way to finally help him find Joey. So at first glance, this reminded me of the original origin of Star-Lord, Peter Quill, from the 1970s. In those original comics, Peter Quill's mom was killed by evil alien lizards, and he basically manifests a career as an astronaut just to get revenge.
How else are you going to do it?
I know, right? Replace revenge for dead mom with find missing brother, and presto, you got the new Space Age #1. Porter's story definitely goes in a unique direction from there. I loved the world building. It's basically, I don't mean this in a condescending way. It's basically like a little kid's version of the future, where it's like weird little gadgets in the air, bubble helmeted astronauts, rockets that look like pointy rockets, and a hodgepodge of genre ideas. No spoilers. The revelation about what makes space travel possible. I thought that was really inventive.
Yeah,
and
cool.
When it came to that, I was like, oh, that's fun.
It was cool. It's a great idea.
Yeah. The art, I absolutely adored the art by Mike Becker. It's very exaggerated figures and pages packed full of panels with very inventive layouts. The design style of everything is so much fun. And the way everything is kind of off kilter.
Yeah.
Reminds me of some British comics I've seen. I don't mean like the bleak, cynical ones, but if you think of comics by like Jamie Hewlett or Kevin O'Neill, which are super fucking weird looking. This is sort of like that stylistically, but it's also very upbeat. The colors by Kevin Batu are beautiful, especially the varied shades of very vibrant green. There's a whole palette of different greens in here. It's an awesome looking book. Look, if you didn't figure it out by now, after we took all the holiday comics out of the mix, all the Age of Revelation stuff, all the DCKO stuff out of rotation for our regular review show, it was kind of slim pickings for this week's episode. So I took a chance on the new Space Age #1. And I'm really glad that I did, because I really loved it. It's so much fun, and the ideas are inventive. This is a huge buy it from me.
Yeah, Mad Cave seems to be a place to go and read comics and have a good time, right? And I'm not saying that's not happening other places, but it seems like they're really coming up, and they're taking chances on creators you never heard about who have great ideas and putting out really quality stuff. This book looks great. It's a fun idea. Sure, like you said, spins out of several genre ideas, but they all work, and it ends with something pretty original.
But it embraces those genres in a way that I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm giving this a buy it.
That is it for reviews, but these weren't the only comics we read the last 2 weeks. It's time for the return of the Ludicrous Speed Round, where we talk about everything else we read in the last 2 weeks.
Ludicrous Speed, go!
There were some differing opinions on Absolute Batman #15. I friggin' loved it, and I think they just keep ramping up the stakes in this book. It looks so good. This Jock issue looks so good, you guys. Loved it. The Infernal Hulk #2 came out. It's Hulk in Atlantis, which sounds crazy, but he's collecting monsters, and he's got to go meet his buddy Megaphil, or whatever his name is. I'm not sure. Still looks fantastic. Totally bonkers book. I can't believe what they're doing with this one. I'm not totally caught up on the Mortal Floor. I'm up to issue 4. Issue 5 came out this week. I'm having a ton of fun with the Mortal Thor. That book is great. Al Ewing's killing it. The book looks incredible. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, #15. This is the end of the Haunting of the Wrecker story, which has been great.
The Wrecker? The Wrecker?
He got possessed.
Hey.
It was really, really bad. Jed MacKay is doing such a great job on a book that is impossible to follow because it is restarted no less than 6 times in the last 6 years. So nobody knows where to jump on. You can't build any momentum. And guess what? Got a new #1 coming next month. Like, come on. Just number this goddamn book, you guys. You're not doing it any favors. Moon Knight's great, and I wouldn't know where to tell people to start. Like, it's one of the Vengeance of the Mark Spectre. Moon Knight is the Moon Knight Spectre of the Moon. Like, one of those titles. I don't know.
I think they think that they're doing the book favors, though.
They're
because
not.
the chances of people not picking up Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu to #16
I don't
higher.
I just don't buy it anymore. Joe, what'd you read?
I get it. Ultimate Spider-Man #23. This book is screaming in for a landing fast. Spidey gets his ass kicked so often in this comic. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to end, but I am just like riveted.
I think they're going to kill him.
I think they might kill him.
I think they're going to kill him.
I read Die Loaded 1 and 2 from Image. A million years ago, we reviewed Die #1 on the show. Matt hated it because he didn't understand the mechanics of the game, which is silly.
The plot was too centered on bad mechanics for a weird game. Right?
Matt was upset about the fictional mechanics for a made-up game, but I digress. But I thought, you know what? A new book started. I'll jump in. Kieran Gillen, like, everybody loves that dude.
Sure.
I am here to tell you, if you thought Marvel The End 2099 was impenetrable, Die Loaded #2 is like reading issue 17 of a series that's been going for a decade.
And the mechanics of the book are just too bizarre. Sorry.
I mean, look, the mechanics are made up. They're fictional. But that's not the problem. The problem is there's so much going on, and I couldn't make sense of any of it. It is gorgeous, though. Stephanie Hans.
Beautiful.
Beautiful book. I also read Barbaric, The Lone Death #1 from Vault. Some time ago, Matt said, spoiler alert, anytime there's a new Barbaric #1, it's going to get a buy it. I mean, I like that idea in theory. In principle, this book is building off of the last 2 or 3 volumes that came before it. It's not the greatest jumping on point.
Yeah,
however,
that's too bad.
I had a ton of fun reading it. And the art by Nathan Gooden is so fucking gorgeous.
I don't know if Michael Morisi's got that guy chained up, but it's kind of a miracle that they have not.
This book is so beautiful.
I can't believe that Marvel or DC hasn't scooped him up and been like, "You're doing Captain America, buddy. You're too good."
Like, look, The Long Death #1 isn't a great place to start Barbaric, but boy, am I glad that Barbaric exists. And you should read it if you've never done it before.
Love it.
That is it for new comic reviews, but now it's your turn. Head to our Discord and join in the new comic talk. And join us for this weekend's Gang Hang, where you can tell us just how wrong we were on all of these reviews. I'm not going to lie. It kind of seemed to me that we were in a foul mood for some of these.
Well, some of it was foul, Joe.
I think we're mad about the choices that we were forced to make.
No. It's time to head to the THN Sanctum Sanctorum and make our must-read comic picks for next Wednesday, Christmas Eve, December 24th. Joe, it's almost Santa Claus's birthday. If these nerds are getting one comic under their tree, what's it going to be?
Well, this is going to seem controversial, but it's the Will of Doom #1 for me from Marvel. It's written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Cafu. It's 48 pages for $6.99. Now, One World Under Doom sort of ended with a fizzle.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But it went on for way too long.
It went on too long.
It was 8 issues, and it took way more than 8 months to come out.
Could have been 4. Could have been 4.
Right. However, Doom is gone. There's a new Sorcerer Supreme. Spoiler alert, it's the Scarlet Witch. I'm sure Steve Orlando is very happy.
And he's writing her new series.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch, Sorcerer Supreme.
We are now faced with the Will of Doom, which stars the Red Hulk of all things. However, Chip Zdarsky's writing this, and this book, in tandem with his next arc on Captain America, which brings Steve to the present day, set the stage for Chip's upcoming Armageddon event. And I think that we will look back at this issue and find that it is essential reading.
There's a lot of cool stuff that they kind of like did to the Marvel universe with the Doom event, right? And that Dungeons of Doom like book that's coming looks totally bonkers. I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
I got to catch up. Yeah. My pick for next week, Absolute Wonder Woman, #15 from DC. It's written by Kelly Thompson, art by Hayden Sherman. It's 32 pages. It is $4.99. It is your first absolute team up. Joe, we got to get together if they're going to fight Superman and Wonder Woman in All Fight Month later on for KO, right? So
if Absolute Batman is going to cut the head off a Sub-Zero, we have to get these characters together.
Look, Absolute Wonder Woman is an incredible book. Absolute Batman is going to be, again, on my list for one of the best winning Beppos for one of the best books that has come out. So is Absolute Wonder Woman. And the thing they've done really, really well is keep all these characters insulated. So I have to see what this looks like when we bring them together, because I have a feeling it's not going to be the kind of team up we are thinking it is. Seeing as everything else is topsy-turvy and the villains team up really well, I don't know if the heroes are going to get along as well.
Yeah,
we're going to find out, and it's going to look great. Hayden Sherman's so goddamn good.
Excelsior!
That's it for THN 799. If you dig our new comic show, check out our YouTube channel. We put up covers and art and stuff like that. And like, subscribe, do the star, review, on your comics app, on your podcast app where you're downloading the show. It helps get us in front of other nerds. We're trying to do a positive thing here. It's a lot of fucking gross shit.
You know what? And we're getting new YouTube subscribers all the time, and we appreciate that.
It's all happening.
Next week, in our milestone 800th episode, the Back Issue Show returns, and we're going to act like it's no big deal. We're going to continue our coverage of DCKO because we are ankle deep in All Fight Month, and there have definitely been some surprises.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm kind of shocked with some of the stuff they're doing. I thought for sure, there's no way they'll do that. They're too popular. But hey, here we are. THN is a listener-supported podcast. It would not be possible without the generosity of donors like our newest patron, Ezequiel Vargas. Thank you very much, Mr. Vargas. We appreciate it. And if you support the show like Ezequiel, you can hear this week's extra where we continue shotgunning a shitload of holiday comics good, bad, and fine. A lot of them are going to be, they're holiday comics, so they are what they are. When you find a good one,
the good news is there's less of them.
when you find a good one, it's like a gem, you know? I'll say that.
Yeah, right. I will say that there are fewer 100-page spectaculars
And hey,
in this.
Mark Stern
in this week's,
spoke up.
offing.
He buys these holiday comics. He was
Mark
like
Orenberger,
probably
yeah,
Mark
Mark
Orenberger. He was
Orenberger.
like, you know what, Matt? I buy them. Like, so I know someone's doing it. That's good. You could sign up to be a patron at patreon.com/two-headed nerd. Check this out. It'll cost you $1 if you want to hear this shit. $1. That's nothing. Come on,
more
guys.
more would be great.
Yeah. It's Christmas for crying out loud. It's Hanukkah for crying out loud. Right now. $8.
It's like the
$7 for Hanukkah would be great. You know?
Before we go, our weekly shout out goes to Gil Gerard, star of Buck Rogers and the best looking sumbitch this galaxy ever laid eyes on. Gil passed away this week at the age of 82. Matt and I have both met Gil in person at multiple Comic-Cons, and every time he was sweet and generous with his time and hilarious.
The guy was absolutely hilarious. It's great.
Yeah. Gerard's wife passed a message from Gil to his fans that he wrote, and it ended with, quote, "Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't thrill you or bring you love. See you somewhere in the cosmos."
Ugh.
Word to you, B2B Buck.
I'm stealing my joke. Until next time, true believers, remember to pre-order your comics. Your retailer might just shut down next Wednesday to honor Twiggy's passing. This is a 200 nerd. BDBDBD. Signing off.
Sorry, I didn't know you were going to do that.